Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to give you a month in review for April 2021. So if you want to see what hit the Webb's game table during the month of April, stick around. In April, we were able to play 28 gameplays of 14 different games, 6 of which were new to us, and I'm going to go through them sort of in reverse order of which games we played the most. So the first one, we only played once, and that is Cobra Paw. And Cobra Paw is a game by the same company that makes Bananagrams, and we like to play this one with the grandkids. It's got some nice, big, chunky dice that you can roll, and then as you roll them, you're trying to match up these nice Bakelite tiles with whatever gets rolled, and the quickest one to find the tiles that match the roll get to keep them. So that is Cobra Paw, a fun game for us to play with the kids. The second one was Kingdomino, and Kingdomino is by Bruno Cathala, and we played this game with the Age of Giants expansion. It's a blue-orange game. It's a tile-laying game where the tiles are designed like a two-sided domino or two-ended domino, and you have to match up the terrain, and the giants throw an extra wrinkle into the game. We just played this one time, also with the grandkids, but we really like Kingdomino, and especially now that we have this extra expansion, it's a lot of fun. The third game was one that I played by myself. I played Friday, the solo game by Friedman Freeze, and it is a Rio Grande game. I had only played it one time, and it's the first time I've ever played it. I enjoyed it. It's a card game where you are trying to survive on the island as Robinson Crusoe, and Friday is giving you some help, and you're trying to survive all these different scenarios that you face on the island by playing the correct cards and discarding and banishing the correct cards at the right time. It's a pretty tough game. I did not survive. So that's Friday. The next game on the list is Age of War, and just played this one time as well. This is by Rainer Knizia, and it is a Fantasy Flight Games production. And this one's one where you are rolling the dice, and you're matching up the dice patterns with the cards and trying to claim those cards by getting those battle lines matched up with the dice. It's a fun little game. We just played it once, my wife and I. We've played it several times in the last couple months, but just got it one time in April. The next one is Caverna, Cave versus Cave, and my wife and I played this one as well. It's a kind of a Caverna version that's two-player only. So you have each one has their own personal cave, and you're trying to excavate it and then build rooms in that cave and manage your resources. We really enjoyed this one, and we were able to play this one time in April as well. One of the other new ones beside Friday that we played only once, unfortunately, is After the Empire. And After the Empire is by Ryan Malk and Evan Halbert. And this game is actually one of my favorite new games. I've only had a chance to fully play it one time. And part of that, as you can see, it's such a big game. So it takes a little while to set it up, and it takes a lot of space on the table, and we've been pretty busy. So I'm really excited to try the solo mode. I got some print and play cards from the crew that created the game, and hoping to try that out here soon. But we really loved our first play of After the Empire. I think it's going to be one that we'll enjoy for a long time. Hoping to play it a few more times and then put together a video review soon. After the Empire was really great. All right, now on to the games we played more than once. Another new one was Magical Unicorn Quest. Played this one a couple times and played it actually this month for a review to produce for this group. It is produced by Flame Point Games and created by Andrew Kuplik. It's a fun little card game. I haven't played Exploding Kittens or games like that, but I think it's similar. You're playing cards and trying to put these magical animals into your stable. And you can play it where you're all building on your own stable, or you can play it where, kind of like Between Two Cities or Between Two Castles, you're building a stable between you and the person to either side. So fun little game. Got a little bit of take that in it, but we played this one a couple times in April. Magical Unicorn Quest. Next up, Jumpin' Monkeys. Found this one at Big Lots. It's just a pressman game, sort of mass distribution. You're just using this little catapult to flip monkeys up onto a plastic tree and trying to get them to stick. And seeing who can get them all to stick into the tree fastest. Really fun game to play with the grandkids. So Jumpin' Monkeys was new to us this month. I played that one a couple times with the kids. Another two-player only game that Janelle and I got to the table again was Jumbo. This one's by Rudiger Dorn, and Cosmos is the publisher. This one's a fun card game where you've got different animals, you've got different utility or tools and things that you're using, and you're trying to sell goods, buy goods, and collect money for the buying and selling of goods, and be the first one to get a certain number of points in that buying and selling process. So Jumbo is a really fun game. Got to play this one twice in April. Another 2-player only game, also by Cosmos, this one by Andreas Steiger, and this is Targi. Targi is one of our favorite games, period, and just got the expansion for it here a couple days ago, so excited to get that to the table and try that out. In Targi, you've got these tiles, or cards actually, they're laid around in this grid, and you're putting your tokens on 2 sides of the grid and finding out where they meet in the middle to see which events or bonuses you're going to get, whether it's a good or a tribe that you're claiming, and you're trying to claim those tribes in certain patterns. So there's some set collection aspects to it, and it's a really fun game. We really love Targi. Looking forward to trying that expansion. We were able to play Targi twice this month as well. And the other game that I played twice this month was Roleplayer by Thunderworks Games, and I'm not sure how you say Keith's last name. Mateka, maybe? But Roleplayer, I played this one solo a couple times. Really love this dice rolling game where you're trying to both manipulate the dice and play the dice into patterns and creating your role player character by the way you play the dice. And every character's got a background story and certain skills, and you add skills and traits and weapons. And so it's a lot of fun to create that character and see how you can maximize those dice rolls and manipulate the dice to create a great role player character. I really love this game. Played that one twice in April as well. The next game we got to the table 3 times. This is one that my wife and my son and I are playing together, and that is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. This is by Rob Davio and Matt Leacock, produced by Z-Man Games. And probably most of you know something about Pandemic Legacy, but you play this one month by month, and each month you're trying to, in this game, figure out, I don't want to tell too much, but trying to figure out about spies that are trying to create a biological weapon. And so rather than trying to stop the disease, you're trying to investigate the spy game that's going on. So we've just played up through the month of April now. We've lost a couple times, but we have been able to so far win most of the times. We're really enjoying this game. We love every round, every month. You get new rules to the game and new advantages, new skills as you go. So a lot of fun. We got to play this one 3 times in April. The next one is also a new game, and that is Red Rising by Jamie Stegmaier and Alexander Schmidt, and produced by Stonemaier Games. This one is kind of fundamentally based on fantasy realms in terms of gameplay style, but thematically based on the Red Rising books by Pierce Brown. And I've been reading the books, and I'm close to finishing the 3rd book in the first trilogy and really enjoying the books. I feel like the game, while in some ways you could maybe argue that the theme isn't really entrenched, if you know the books, it's really fun to see those characters coming to life in the cards. And you're trying to collect those cards in a certain pattern so that you can maximize the points that they're worth at the end of the game. You're also deploying them during the game for different abilities that they possess. And again, if you know the stories, then some of their abilities and the way they pattern up really kind of remind you of what goes on in the book. So really enjoying this one. Played this one 4 times, mostly solo, but also played with my wife as well. Really liking this game. I can't wait to get it to the table again. And the last one is the one that I played the most, and that is Katana, Samurai Action Card Game. And this is by Tracy Allen and Attention Span Games, and it's, as you can tell, just a tiny little card game. We played this one 5 times, played it with my son-in-law, played it with my wife. Had a good time with this one. You're laying down cards as a stance that's hidden, and you're also attacking and defending and trying to use the powers of the god that you have in leading your troops. And it's a really fun sort of tactical game. Plays pretty quickly. And really enjoying this one. I'm hoping to play it with some of the students at school once we start wrapping up towards the end of the school year and have a little bit more free time at lunch and things like that. Hoping to see if I can get a few of the students that are interested in games to try this one with me. So this was the most played game for me in April. We played it 5 times, and another new one for us, Katana. So those are the games that we played in April. Had 6 new ones, like I said, so that was a lot of fun, exploring some new games and getting to discover some, I think, new favorites, especially Red Rising and After the Empire. I can see those sticking in our collection for a long time and getting a lot of gameplay. I think those were my 2 favorite games of the month. What games did you play in April, and what games were your favorite? I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, it'd be great if you'd click on that like button, and it would also be terrific if you'd subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy, Indiana, signing off.